Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another round of Mind Your Fucking Business with your host, Jeffrey Renson.
Thank you, Dougie Sticks, coming to you from the beautiful studios of Undefeated Media here in Bergen County, New Jersey. This is the Mind Your Fucking Business podcast brought to you by the Bamboozle Project as well as DraftKings. Go check out the bamboozleproject.com, all one word, conveniently across your screen. See if I look up, it's there. And you can go on that site, check it out. Save yourself 20% off your total order by entering the magical letters MYPB at checkout. We thank DraftKings as well for their sponsorship. This is episode 205, Cinco. If you're following us on the SAP features available to you with this week's episode, we welcome you to the show. And we are taping this episode, just so you know where we are current at, on Wednesday morning, October 15th. You can send us your questions at any time at Mind Your Fucking Business, all one word. DM us on Instagram. We answer all of them, including last night when I got home from the garden, and there were 37 of them in the 45
Just
minutes.
37?
In the 45 minutes from getting to the garden home, there were 37, and I answered them all. You can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, and you can also watch the show live, interact with us this morning if you're available, as you guys always do, on both the YouTube platform as well as Instagram. So
Everywhere.
yes, if you want to get us, you can find us. And one thing you can find, in the world in the last week, which is a good thing, we'll start with positivity, is the NHL, as they obviously hockey is back.
Hockey's back.
Hockey is back. We are
so
in full
back.
throttle. And I do think we'd have to look at this before, but I'm pretty sure this is true, that because you have the 3-week Olympic break in in February when there are no games, you have these other weeks of the season. There's just a lot going on. The Rangers have already played 5 games, and I feel like the season just started. So there is a lot of games going on, and that will continue. One thing we like to do here, if you're new to the program, because this is really the first time we're in this situation this season, we try to go in chronological order of events from when we were on last, which was last Wednesday. So if you want to get into last night's Edmonton game, we will, but we're going to start really with where we were in time when we left you last, and we'll work our way to get there. And where we were last Wednesday morning was the day after the home opener, the 3-0 loss to Pittsburgh, where there were not a lot of good things in that game. And of course, as sports does, and people do, you want to overreact and say the sky is falling, the team stinks, there's nothing different, and that's game 1 of the year. I'm going to make the conclusion that they're never going to win. They're going to go 0-82, and that's the way it's going to be. And the Rangers will be 0-5 next Wednesday when MYPB is on, and Jeff will go nuts, which is what you all wanted me to do, which is not what's going to happen today. So obviously some overreaction. So let's take the Buffalo game. The Rangers go up to Buffalo last Thursday at 0-1. And I think what you like, and I don't think this was talked a lot about it, is you were so frustrated with the way it went the night before at MSG with the Pittsburgh game that you wanted to see the Rangers kind of come out with a good start in Buffalo. And in the first period, they got it. They got out to a 1-0 lead on the first goal of the season, scored by Alexis Lafreniere, which was good to see. So you like that there was a good start. What you then didn't like is the second period was atrocious. There was a bunch of bad penalties. The Rangers could not get the puck out of their own end. And Igor Shesterkin had some saves in that game. Obviously the save number is always important, but there's also quality of saves you have to make. That second period, Igor Shesterkin made a ton of point-blank saves. Carson Soucy, whatever you want to pronounce his name. I always pronounce it wrong. I apologize. Scores in the third, and then the floodgates open. Fox gets a goal. JT Miller gets a goal. And you have to congratulate as well with that game, Mike Sullivan, who gets his first win with the Rangers. So it is always good to get the first win of the year. Look, every team, no matter how bad you are, including Buffalo, is going to win a game. So it's not like you celebrate the first win because you don't know if it's going to happen. Of course, it's going to happen. No team goes 0-82, but you do like that. One bad thing that came out of that game is that Trocheck got injured, left the game with an upper body injury. And I had said to someone on Saturday, which is what we're going to get into now with the Pittsburgh game, that if you leave a game with an upper body injury, I would bet a lot of money you're not playing the next game. It's just, to me, I mean, it's possible, but if you're going to bet, you're probably going to be out of the lineup. And it did come out that Saturday afternoon in Pittsburgh that Trocheck was going to be week to week with an upper body injury. I've seen it rumored in a couple places that it's his shoulder. As we know, with the New York Ranger franchise, they give you as little information as possible. I think they look at this stuff as like it's our competitive advantage on things, and that's why we do it, because they don't say anything. But it's an upper body injury, and it's week to week. Now, I was surprised going into the Pittsburgh game, and we put up a poll on this on Friday on our story that you guys could vote on, which was basically, what do you do this weekend? You have to play quick one of these two games. You can't. I mean, Igor's hot, but he's a backup there for a reason. Do you play Igor in Pittsburgh, or do you play Igor at home with Washington? And they decided, surprisingly, to go against what I would have done and what the masses voted on the MYPB poll, by the way, which was to be starting the Pittsburgh game with Igor and Ned and saving Jonathan Quick for when I was going to be there on Sunday. First period, pretty even. Good for Mika to get going on a shorthanded goal. Opens up the scoring on a beautiful setup by Sam Carrick. We're going to get into Sam Carrick in a minute, because I thought last night, and Sam Carrick almost, I don't want to warp levels here, but Sam Carrick was exceptional last night. Pittsburgh ties it in the second, and then it kind of seemed after that goal that the Rangers kind of elevated their game a little bit and showed you what should be the difference between the talent level of the New York Rangers and the talent level of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Fox gets 2 goals. He had three points on the night, 2 power play goals. Noah Laba, who's been a very good story, had his first 2 points, both being assists. Rempe gets a goal laying on his ass in front of the net. I mean, he can't make it up, but it goes in, so whatever. Adam Edstrom got 2 assists as well, and the Rangers win. Now, if you notice when I just talked about what went right in the 6-1 win, it was either 5-1 or 6-1 win in Pittsburgh. If you notice, I didn't say any goals or points by Panarin, Lafreniere, or Cooley. Like, there's a theme here going on, and that seems to be, and we're going to get into this in a couple minutes, but it's a little, what is it, prelude? What like a foreshadowing to tell you what's going to come up in a couple minutes?
Prequel.
Right, I like it. There's a little hint that it seems to be certain lines that are producing. The Rangers come back to play Washington on a back-to-back. Now, we went on Sunday. I had planned for months to go to this game. One of my kids didn't have school Monday. It was the beginning of the season. I thought it was a good game for the 4 of us to go to. Then it came out late last week that we were going to get Armageddon weather-wise on Sunday. And being the situation my son is in right now with his leg, I was like, I don't know, maybe we want to do this. But we decided to do it and go in. And we were driving in, and the kids were talking to me in the back seat, and I told them that Quick was playing. And understandable reaction for them. Oh, we want to see Igor, right? But we debated whether to go or not. The Rangers lose 1-0. And look, there are no moral victories here at all. This is not preschool baseball or everyone gets a trophy or whatever you want to call it. There's no moral victories in professional sports. It's either you get 2 points or not, and the Rangers got 0 points. But you can't fault the effort. As I said in the post-game recap on Sunday night, walking to my car in what was like sheets of rain coming down on 8th Avenue, you just played the division winner from last year. You came off a back-to-back. They landed in Westchester Airport at 12:30 in the morning. They had a 27-14 shot advantage at the end of 2. I mean, it's basically a 2-1 shot advantage. And for some reason, Charlie Lindgren, the goalie, who, yes, he is related to Ryan Lindgren, the ex-Ranger, decided to play out of his mind. You can get annoyed, but you can't get angry. You can't get upset. And the other thing as well, and I think you have to keep this in mind, the Rangers so many times, whether it's Henrik Lundqvist or Igor Shesterkin, are on the other side of that coin where you win games that you've only won because of the goalie. Like, I go back to last year, and there's not a lot of games that I can think of that they won because of Igor, because that was the year. But the one that sticks out that I just thought of on the fly was that December game on a Friday night in Dallas. Like, they won because of Igor. So it happens. And the goal that Anthony Beauvillier scored on Jonathan Quick in the second period was an incredible deflection. We were actually right behind that net. And if he were to do that 100 times, that puck is going in 1. It happened to be the one time. I thought the Rangers were really good on Sunday night. It's annoying that you go there and you don't hear the goal horn. Also a foreshadowing for what we're going to talk about in a minute. But it happens, right? I think there were positives to take away from Sunday night. Last night, I was not planning on going versus Edmonton. Truth of the matter is, my daughter was supposed to have a soccer game. I don't really miss her stuff. Wasn't going to go to the game. Monday, we got an email that the game was canceled for whatever reason. I don't even know. So then I was like, you know what? Do I go? And I had a buddy invite me. So I said, I'm going to go. You know what? Forget it. I'm going to go. I don't have anything. I want to go. After what I saw last night versus Washington, it would be nice to see them play against Stuart Skinner, who's not obviously that good of a goalie. The Rangers will probably light him up. I mean, of course, we know that they're due to score. I could really, if I wanted to, replay the post-game recap for Sunday and use a lot of it for last night. Vakanainen takes the puck in the second period, tries to clear it, and he tries to make the right play and dump it around the boards, from the neutral zone, and hits the linesman. I don't know if it hit him in the leg or the ass or what. I think it was a leg but I was sitting up in the West balcony last night. Hits the linesman, basically, careens the other way for a breakaway, and Edmonton takes a 1-0 lead and win the game 2-0 on an empty netter. Now, again, the Rangers were the better team last night. You can get annoyed that they didn't win last night. You can get annoyed they didn't win Sunday night. You can get annoyed they didn't score at all last night. You can get annoyed that they didn't score at all Sunday night. It's all valid points. But you can't really – that's not the whole picture because they're outplaying two very good teams. Washington won the division last year, and Edmonton has been the Western Conference representative in the Stanley Cup Finals and went to Game 7 2 years ago and went to Game 6 last year. So you've basically outplayed two teams at home. It would be another thing if you've outplayed this team, you didn't have a lot of shots. They had a ton of shots in both games. The 3 games they've played at home, including the Pittsburgh game, they've had 90 shots on goal. None have gone in. They've had great chances throughout. Braden Schneider last night hit the post in the second period, or crossbar rather. Sam Carrick made a play with 2 minutes left last night that I don't know if he thought he was Connor McDavid for a minute going through people, came in, and Stuart Skinner sticks out his glove and stops it. They've had quality chances that they have put the puck where the puck should be. The goalie has just made good saves. They have right now absolutely no puck luck. We are sitting last night, and I can't believe sometimes what you hear sitting at games when you're there. I am in the West balcony last night in row 2. And by the way, if you've never sat in the West balcony, it is a very underrated place to sit in the Garden because you have no one in front of you. You're like, it's not like you're in row 24 of section 213 where I'm going to be Monday. You have nobody in front of you. You can see everything. But what they have the bar stools that sit behind you, right? And there is a woman basically commenting the entire game, and she is really dead on. She's like, statistically, this is crazy. They can't score. It's almost statistically impossible, yada, yada, yada. And then she said something that I just, I don't understand. And that was like, I'm starting to think that there's actually a chance they're going to play 41 games at home and never score. That is not possible. They will eventually score. Puck luck has to change here in some ways. I am convinced that Panarin and JT Miller are still hurt. Whatever their separate injuries were, if you remember, JT Miller went down and training camp, didn't play the remaining parts of the preseason, didn't play. Panarin never played a preseason game because of some injury he came in with. Both of these guys are hurt. Panarin is so hesitant right now to shoot the puck. It is incredible. There was a play last night in the first period because we sat behind the net in the West balcony where you're there between the net first and third period, where Artemi Panarin just normally would shoot and just wouldn't shoot, just kept dangling and dangling and dangling until he could make a pass, and the pass got completely broken up going across the crease. He has to be hurt. JT Miller has to be hurt. There is now there is no doubt in my mind from being there in person now the last 2 games that they are both hurt. If Artemi Panarin cannot perform, and this is what we're going to get, let him rest so he gets to the point where he can perform and put someone else in that can.
Like Rempe.
Like we're going to get to Rempe in a minute. JT Miller is the same thing. They're not doing anything. They're both clearly hurt. I would rather call up a 95% Brett Berard. good sound graphic there by a producer. I would rather call up a 95% healthy Brett Berard than what we're getting right now from Panarin and JT Miller. They're both clearly hurt, and they shouldn't be there. Last night as well, and I'm not getting on Matt Rempe, and I will say this. I noticed on Sunday night, particularly the shifts that were in front of the net. We were in my seats in 216 the other night. That Matt Rempe was all over the forecheck the other night. He was very good.
Wow.
But last night, you're down a goal. Listen to this.
Okay.
You're down a goal. All right. It's 1-0. You're losing to Edmonton. I think there's like 2.5 minutes left. Matt Rempe is on the ice to get a tying goal. How have we gotten to the point where you need Matt Rempe on the ice to get you the tying goal? There's no way that he is your best.
No way.
I tell you, B-Rock is on fire with the sound today. He's on fire. And Rempe's been better, and I see you guys are killing me on the YouTube comments right now. I'm not saying he hasn't been better, but he shouldn't be your number one option to get a tying goal when you're down a goal in the third period. So Miller and Panarin have to be hurt. Speaking of injuries, as I mentioned, Trocheck got hurt in the Buffalo game. You know, the best option would be to not move Mika away from the wing and have to move back to the center. But you almost had no choice, because if you kind of looked through and you said, all right, well, if you keep Mika at the wing for JT Miller, where he had been to date in the short season, what other realistic option did you have, and who would you put on center? And there really wasn't any. So you can tread through an injury of Vincent Trocheck, because, again, they've been very good. Their record is 2-3. They're not 0-5. Their goalie is playing out of his mind. His goals against average is under 1. Let that sink in. And with Igor, the other thing you have seen in these first 5 games, and they shouldn't be 2-3. They are 2-3, but they should be better than that. And they've played to a better record than that. But one thing you can see, and this is important, that if there's going to be an opportunity for this team to get far in the spring, because the goal isn't just to make the playoffs. I'm tired of that being the metric that people use. The goal is eventually to win a Stanley Cup in your lifetime, right? If the recipe is, how do I get to the Stanley Cup final, or maybe win the Stanley Cup final, the recipe is Igor playing out of his mind. Because if Igor plays like this, and he's not going to play like this the entire year, it would be impossible to do so. But if he plays like this to the point with Jonathan Quick of getting into the playoffs, and then gets you there and plays like this, you know what? You put that cake in the oven, because I used the word recipe. That's your recipe to how you do it.
So if Panarin and Miller are hurt, why don't we rest them and call up Gabe and get Gabe Perreault some ice time?
I would be fine with that. I was going to say Chris isn't here, but he is here. I just saw him in the comments, so I'm sure we'll comment on Gabe. I just don't. What I don't understand. Here's another player that I'm already getting a little bit frustrated with. And I was gonna put something up on Twitter or X or whatever it's called the other day, and I didn't do it because I knew that I would get killed for this. Taylor Radish, who they signed from Washington, he's a third line player, so I'm not sitting here expecting Connor McDavid numbers or anything. But what I don't understand is, what is he doing that Brett Berard can't, who's younger and can get NHL experience? If he's not doing a damn thing right now that Brett Berard can't do, that could also be giving Berard experience in the NHL. I don't understand. Now, Guardo, who's commenting that Radish does fourth line work, you need to, is right. That is what he's doing right. But I am going to sit here and tell you that I think that Brett Berard can do that as well. The third and fourth line for this team has been very good. The fourth line of with Edstrom and Rempe have been excellent. Noah Laba, particularly the 2-assist game in Pittsburgh, I even put a post up about it after the game, has been very good. Although Noah Laba, I will say this, was completely unnoticeable last night. I don't know, maybe if his ice time was down. I mean, you guys can let me know. I was at the game. So I'm not watching those things when I'm at the Garden. But his ice time, I mean, I didn't even notice the guy was even playing last night. But it's the bottom line that's doing it. Again, you have Miller, who's doing nothing. You have Panarin, Panarin has no points in 5 games. I don't want to panic and sit here and go crazy on a player after 5 games. I'll give you an example. I see what you're doing. I'll give you an example, and I hate to do this because, I always joke that we don't talk baseball here, and we don't. But I used to have, ticket plans for the Yankees. I mean, I am a Yankee fan, so I'm going to use a Yankee analogy. When Aaron Judge starts out the spring, or A-Rod back in the day starts out the spring, and they do bad, they have a bad start, and someone says, you know what, they're going to turn it around. They're not going to be like this all year. That's kind of what I believe will happen with Panarin here, but he's got to be hurt. But Panarin, no points in 5 games is bizarre. And the other thing that is ironic about that, and is actually, I'm going to say ironic, it's the wrong word. It makes it more newsworthy, is just a gentle reminder. He's on a contract here. So if Panarin has a nosedive of production here, is bad. Lafreniere, who you guys are talking about, was he noticeable last night? He was not noticeable last night. Lafreniere was not bad on Sunday night, I thought. He had a couple chances. He had one chance in the net. I believe it was the third period because it was the side they were coming out in front of us where he actually got robbed. Mika has been good. I will actually say this. Mika, who, is probably second in line behind Lafreniere, is a guy who needs to just personally have a good season. I think Mika's actually been pretty good. He's had chances. He had the 2-1 the other night against Washington that lingering stuck out his glove. Again, puck luck is going to change at some point. It's just right now they have a ton of puck luck that is just not going their way at all. Have you watched? Sometimes you watched. Have you watched?
Yeah, and no, I didn't see on the ice at all yesterday.
Yeah, he
didn't play.
I know he played because we did see him. We did notice him on the ice in the third period, but he has not been. He was not noticeable like he was the Pittsburgh game the other night. He was noticeable. Matter of fact, I think that he might have been, forget the statistical stuff, because if you look at that, you're going to see that Fox had 3 points and got the Broadway hat. Noah Laba might have been their best player on Saturday night.
Wow.
And Mika has been good. Look, I'll be the first to get on Mika. I got on him a ton last year. I'm ready to get on him this year. I ain't giving him a pass, but he's been pretty good.
Don't forget.
Rem Sanity has been pretty, and Rempe has been good. So last night,
what did you just say?
He's been good for what he is.
Sanity's been good.
Last night, I mean, it's funny and it's not funny.
It's hilarious.
These people, what's funny is at the game last night, these people in the section next to us, every time Rempe got the puck, would yell giraffe. And normally when these things happen, like, you don't keep up the consistency to do it every time a certain player touches the puck. But these guys were on it all the time. But Rempe's been good. He's actually been very good around the boards behind the net. But I have a problem if Rempe is who you have out on the ice with 2.5 minutes left last night. Now, here's where I'll be proved wrong. Because he was out with Sam Carrick, and you shouldn't have your fourth line out. But Sam Carrick had like a rush through the neutral zone. He kind of deked through people and literally had a breakaway and got robbed by Stewart. Yeah. I mean, he was great. That was the best opportunity they had. Let me tell you, I see the comments on YouTube are going crazy. Let's take Chris's. Sheary, the 1027. Sheary last year and the year before has less goals than Berard, but yeah, that's a recipe for success. So Chris is on, because I talk to Chris outside of here all the time. And rightly so. Chris does not like Connor Sheary. Now, Connor Sheary, if we're going to play devil's advocate and be mean, had a really great pass on the goal by Will Cooley in Pittsburgh the other night. Connor Sheary last night had in the third period, I don't know if this has been talked about anywhere, had a chance. The puck came across to him and he shanked it in front of me, actually, on that side of the ring. Connor Sheary has not been good. I don't want to say he's been terrible, but he hasn't been good. But this isn't 10 years ago either. So he has, all right. So as Guardo saying, he's a great option and he hasn't been bad. He hasn't been bad. He hasn't been good either. Connor Sheary is not the issue right now. The issue right now is puck luck, right? Go out there the next 3 home games, which would be, let me see, Minnesota Monday, San Jose next Thursday, and then they're out west, and I don't think they're home until Carolina. If you have 90 shots again in your next 3 home games, some of them are going in. I mean, the fact that Stuart Skinner, of all goalies in the league, is the one that got the shutout is bizarre. But let's take Allie, that New York Ranger girl's comment. I can't read it, but we'll put it up. Shutting down McDavid and Draisaitl is all you need to know how good they played last night. Puck luck just sucks right now, and Skinner as well. She's absolutely right. They shut down McDavid and Draisaitl. They limited Washington's chances the other night as well. I don't even get into shutting down Ovechkin, because Ovechkin looked like he didn't want to be there. I've never seen Ovechkin like he was the other night. There were plays where he normally would hit the guy going to get the puck. He just skated away from it. I don't know if he's older or if it's October and he doesn't care. But Allie's right. Look, you can focus on a ton of positives. This would be a different story if they're losing games 7-0 and getting outshot by 2-1 margins. It's absolutely not what's happening here at all.
Yeah. I mean, last night they had 1/3 more shots than the other guys.
The other night in the Washington game, they had a 27-14 advantage at the end of the second period. There was a couple shifts. I believe it was the end of the first period on Sunday versus Washington. Washington could not get the puck in the defensive end from the Rangers. They have not looked bad. They're also 2-3. They're not 0-5 getting blown out. So for those of you that were like, oh, we have to tune into MYPB tomorrow morning because you're going to see him go nuts like I saw last night. I'm not going to go nuts. I don't have a reason to go nuts. I'll go nuts if there's a reason. Right now, there's not a reason to go nuts. Now, the schedule gets difficult because I do think this. There's clearly it's a mental thing now with scoring at home because you could see the players talk about it last night after the game. The best thing for them to do in their next game is not play it at Madison Square Garden, so they're going to leave the country now for 2, which is probably not good. And Johnny's right. Good analytics, bad results. Johnny is on this stuff more than any of us. You cannot be discouraged by what you're seeing. You can be annoyed by puck luck, but they have had, and here's the other thing. Both games that I was at, right? And I was at the Washington game Sunday. I was there last night. It's not like they're taking wrist shots from the blue line that are unobstructed and that's counting as saves. They're getting great chances. They're just not going in. Again, Schneider hit the crossbar in the second period. Carrick came in on a breakaway with 2 minutes left, and Stuart Skinner was behind the net. I saw him literally put his glove out and the puck went in. They have no puck luck. If they keep playing like this, and Washington and Edmonton are no slouches either, they're going to be fine. The season is a marathon. You want to get out like it's a sprint and do really well because we've all been trying so hard to get back to New York Ranger hockey. I get it. They will be fine if they play like this. And the other thing, remember, you have a new coach who's still trying to implement a system. And the system is different. You can see clearly they're trying to be a forechecking team. They're pinching deep. They're cycling the puck off in the offensive zone like they didn't do it all last year. And JT Miller and Panarin are hurt. They have to be.
Yeah. Looks like it.
And Chris is saying that I like Johnny's take today, but not his take yesterday. And I know what he's referring to, and I'll mention it. Johnny had a take, and I don't necessarily say that I don't like it. I'm torn on it, which is, do the Rangers re-sign Panarin? And if Panarin is not hurt, and again, he is hurt, but if he's not hurt, he's definitely lowering his price tag for whoever signs him, whether it's the Rangers, because so far he's off to an abysmal start. Let's take Alvin's long comment up at the top, and we'll read it as we go. The quality of the effort that resulted in the losses so far, aside from the first game where Baltano was on, has been okay. It would be a story if they played like crap and didn't try. Exactly. You're not getting that. They're out shooting these teams. They're getting way more quality chances than the other teams. Again, the goals will come at home. I'm almost tempted now. I wasn't planning on going Monday versus Minnesota. And the fact that I've been to 2 games in 3 nights is also a lot for me. I don't go.
You're juiced up, bro.
All the time.
You're juiced up.
I'm planning. I told my wife last night when I got home, like, I'm planning on going Monday because now I'm like kind of pissed that they can't score at home, and I feel like I need to be there. And you could sense last night as well, and this is also why it's good that their next game is not here, that there's like every time they shoot, it's like the place wants to explode. A lot of people were DMing me last night that the crowd seemed terrible. I didn't think so at all. And I thought the crowd on Sunday night was good too.
You got to give them something to cheer for.
You got to give them something to cheer for. I don't think the crowd was bad either night. I think considering the circumstances that the team got shut out, I thought the crowd was really good. Last night, I don't know for you guys that go to games if this is a common thing, but I've never seen this. I've never looked. Where we were sitting, when you got up, we had to walk past one of the concession stands. That's like a basic concession stand, not one of the fancy ones that the Garden has now.
Yeah.
It's called Garden Market. So they have like pretzel, popcorn, like the basics, the 1980s, like stadium food, not the fancy stuff, which also on Sunday night, my wife and I weren't sure what to eat. And we both decided to get just like a piece of pizza at, it's called Slices. It's in the Garden. There's a couple locations. Mm-hmm. The hot honey pizza is absurd that I got it again last night. Anyway, Garden Market, we were walking past last night, and they put out all the like popcorn that they hadn't sold, all the pretzels they hadn't sold, and just told people to take it. I don't know if that's because maybe they felt bad that the fans didn't get a goal, or if they do that. But I was good. And Allie and Scud both saying that the hot honey slice is amazing. I got it again last night. That might be my new thing there. And there's plenty of other things. Obviously, there's the prime rib, there's daily burger. There's no like lack of good food choices at the Garden. And my wife saw on Sunday night, there's like lobster rolls now, Mighty
Oh,
Quinn's barbecue. There's a million things you can eat there. There's Carnegie
wow.
Deli. There's a million things. But the hot honey slice, if you want like basic, I'm not going to go fancy. Holy cow, that's good. And yes, Guardo, the food is better than the team. So the Rangers. Two other things I wanted to point out. Fox, 3 goals on the year. He had three goals all of last year.
Whoa.
Highly encouraging, right?
Yeah.
Another positive as well. The Rangers are perfect. Now, where they have a 0% rate of scoring at home, they have a 100% rate of killing penalties this year, 10 for
Nice.
10. They were never shorthanded last night. They had 3 power plays. And the puck movement on the power play last night, again, was good.
Yeah.
So, Daily Burger with onion jams from Scud is my all-time favorite. Also a solid thing. So, in the preseason, when we got upgraded by my rep to the Madison Club, right? So it's free unlimited food. They had basically all you can eat daily burgers. I don't want to say how many daily burgers I had, but all I will say is I didn't eat the next day because I didn't do it. Fox has been good. Maybe Gavrikov has helped. Yeah, look. If I can't speak to that definitively. I haven't watched Fox so in depth on his shifts. But my first glance would be like, okay, he had 3 goals last year. They signed a guy who was supposed to complement him very well as his partner. And now he's already tied his goal total in 4 games because that's when he tied it. Or actually, no, he tied it in 3 games. Yes, 3 games. I would probably agree with you that Gavrikov has helped him. Fox also seems, to me last night, particularly on the power play at the point, the power play, the last one, the one in the third period, seemed very confident with the puck at the point, which last year didn't seem to be the case. Fox and Mika, best players as of now by Guardo. I would actually put, and I wanted to say this, I said I was going to say this. I'm going to give you a name of a player that I thought last night was really good, and he was good on Sunday too when I was there, and that is Sam Carrick. Sam Carrick has been excellent for the role that he's there to play. We'll put up Ali's comment. Cooley has also played horribly. Not sure if we talked about it yet. It hurts me to say this, but he's been a turnover machine and looks lost. He does. There was a play last night with Cooley in the corner, the left corner in the net where we were, where he just gave up the puck. It's like he didn't want to take a hit. I don't think he's hurt. I'm not sure what's going on with Will Cooley. The one thing I'm going to say with Will Cooley, because I said this a couple of weeks ago, is everybody was so high on Will Cooley last year, and rightly so. Will Cooley was not that good in the second half of the season last year. So I don't know if there was just like a streakiness that got him to get Ali and a lot of people to love him, which is fine. You love who you love. That's fine. But he has, as Guardo is saying right now, we can pull up his comment. He has taken a step back. He has not been good. The one underneath it on Cooley. Cooley has taken a step back. I would absolutely agree with that. So the best thing for the Rangers right now is to get out of the country. First off, get out of the city. And
Get
then
out of here.
not only get out of the city, get out of the
No goal
country
scoring team.
for 3 days and go up to Toronto tomorrow night and go up to Montreal. Now, I wouldn't be shocked. I said this when we were walking out with a bunch of people on 8th Avenue last night, that it would be typical for the Rangers to score 4 or 5 tomorrow night in Toronto. Maybe still lose, but eventually the goals here will come. Toronto is obviously pretty good, and Montreal is not bad either. The Rangers seem usually to not play well in Montreal. Igor does not play as well up there as he does elsewhere. I don't know what they'll do here with the goaltending because you don't have any back-to-backs. My guess would be you play Igor tomorrow in Toronto, you play Igor Saturday versus Montreal, and you play Igor Monday versus Minnesota, and then you give Quick the game on Thursday before you go out west when you play San Jose.
Sounds good to me.
We'll pull up Puck Rock Rangers comment. I love Cool. Another one above it.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments here today. I love Cooley as much as the next, but I fear we overvalue him because of how shitty last season was. Yeah, I again with Cooley, Cooley peaked in the first half of the year. If you look at his stuff last year from the first half or second half, now again he played on a really bad team last year, but he was not the same player in the second half. We'll take up Coffee Sports Collectibles. Cooley league has league has made second from the top. Yep, Cooley league has made adjustments on him. Now he needs to adjust or the money weighing him down. let's hope it doesn't come to that. But one thing with Cooley and the money is you signed him to a very team-friendly deal. Cooley would have to be absolutely abysmally atrocious, if that's a word. I'm using double adjectives there. He would have to be abysmally atrocious to make that contract be bad. So
Abysmally.
The other thing is you need to find out, like, again, the Rangers always never say anything. Like, getting information out of them is like getting information out of my son. Tyler, how was your day? No, good. That's it. Like, getting information is like dealing with a teenage
My
child.
upper body's good.
Yeah. Not his lower body at the moment. But it's like, the Rangers aren't going to say anything. But I am convinced that Panarin and JT Miller are hurt. And if they are, why are they in the lineup? They're not doing anything anyway.
Yeah,
Get them right. Get Berard up here. Again, it's not a lack of opportunity. Allie is saying that Cooley was the best player, that New York Ranger girl. He was the best player on a terrible team. That's why he stuck out. And it could be right. And if Allie's saying something like, not want to say negative, but like overly not complimentary about Cooley, it might be time to pay attention to the subject because she is the world's #1 Cooley fan.
Wow.
So in the next week, Rangers, like I said, go to Toronto tomorrow, Montreal Saturday, and then home against Minnesota on Monday. There is a season ticket holder event Monday. I was going to put it up if people want to go. I don't know if anyone's going to the Garden. There's a free happy hour that they are doing for season ticket holders. I forgot the name of the bar. I have it. It's near MSG. I forgot. Anyway, it's near the Garden, and they do it. It's like a happy hour with the team, with not obviously the team because the team plays Monday night, but like with alumni. I usually don't go to those things, and when I got the invite last week, I'm like, well, I'm not going to the game on the 20th. Delete. But now I'm like I said last night, I was driving home. I was like just kind of annoyed that I haven't heard the goal song. And by the way, you feel that you feel for people. I said this to my wife last night. If there's any parents listening, you'll relate to me. When you take your kid to a Ranger game, like little kids, littler than mine, who are now 14 and 12, the one thing we used to ask for, I didn't care if the Rangers won or lost. I didn't care. The one thing I wanted was for my kids to hear the goal song. The amount of kids that were there Sunday night because they didn't have school Monday and got nothing, I felt bad for. And then last night we were walking. Nothing. It's in the post-game recap if you go on our Instagram. A bunch of little kids came in the stairwell because we took the stairwell down. And this little girl, I feel bad, she's 8 years old. She was like, the Rangers need to score. And you could tell like she was frustrated. And it's like common sense. This kid doesn't understand. Like, my parents just took me to a hockey game and it was fun, but I never saw the Rangers score. You feel for those people.
Yeah, it's depressing.
Guardo would rather lose 9-8 than 1-0. See, I wouldn't. I would go the other way in that. If I'm going to lose, I'd rather lose 1-0, knowing defensively I played well and my goalie's playing well. And a 9-8 game wouldn't be good for my anxiety level either. Like I don't need the going back and forth. If I had 9 goals against, I'd be frustrated. I'd be very frustrated. All right. So that's where we are. Allie, I see you're going Monday. I will DM you on the side if I end up going. NFL.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't want to talk about the Rangers not scoring anymore. We'll talk about NFL for a couple minutes. You apparently, and I could tell you're ready to talk about it, had an interesting thing happen to you at the Giants-Eagles game on Thursday night. What happened to you?
It was the best game I've ever been to. So that's one.
Okay, that's not good in the sense of like your like catalog of games you've been to. But
yeah.
What else happened, Doug?
I mean, I got to hold the flag. I got to be on the field. Yeah, it was great. It was amazing.
The MYPB connections. That is not the only thing, and I know you know what I'm referring to. That MYPB got as a perk this weekend. Holy cow!
Privileges.
I tell you, this little podcast all of a sudden giving us Chinese food reservations you wouldn't
kissing
believe.
Babies, waving to the crowd.
Yeah. So, all right, the Giants win. I'm gonna do a comparison. I thought about. Go ahead. You want to say something?
Well, I mean, we can roll back a clip. I did say it was going to happen.
The
only person.
You did.
The only person on the planet that called it.
And Doug needs to give the fish lady recap. We'll get to that in a minute. If you're still listening and you're a Ranger fan,
know that?
Yeah, well, everyone knows fish lady. All right, so I'm gonna make a really dangerous comparison, and it's gonna make people mad. I don't know if I want to compare. I'm not gonna make the comparison. I'm just gonna like say what I'm gonna say, and you can tell me if it's worth comparing.
Okay.
The Jets, as terrible as they have been,
Yes.
right? They should have won the Pittsburgh game in week 1, right? Because
Yeah.
they let up a
They
60-yard
should.
field goal.
They should have a couple wins.
They should have won in Tampa. They had the lead with 2 minutes left, and they should have beat Denver the other night.
Yes.
It's like the Rangers. The luck stuff is just not going their way. I am going to, I can see you're listening to it because I can hear the echo. In the picks, which I'm about to give, the Jets are in the pick this week. So last week we had another bad week where 2 winning weeks and 4
They
losing
almost
weeks.
beat the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers are good.
Yeah. So last week I had 4 wrong. I had the Jaguars -1.5 versus the Seahawks. That did not hit. The Cowboys -3.5 at the Panthers. The Saints split 3.5 at home versus B-Rocks Patriots. The Lions +2.5 at Kansas City. The one I had right was the Bengals at +14, and that was the one I told you I loved because it was a ton of points. Let's talk about our week 7 picks. I like the Eagles -1.5 at Minnesota. The Eagles have now lost 2 in a row. They have to win. They're the better team than Minnesota. I apologize to Paul Farrington, who used to come on our show. I'm taking the Eagles -1.5 in Minnesota. I'm taking the Jets +1.5 at home versus Carolina. The Jets have been close 3 games. They could be 3-3. I mean, they really could. They're not as bad as they seem. Carolina's not great. At some point, the Jets have to win. They're not an 0-17 team. I'm taking the Jets +1.5 versus Carolina. I'm taking Miami +3 Cleveland. Cleveland shouldn't be getting 3 points, or shouldn't be giving 3 points. That's what it comes down to. It's not that I'm taking Miami +3, but that is what I'm taking. I don't like Cleveland giving points at all. Give me Miami +3. I like the Chargers -1.5 at home versus Indy. Indy has been very good. Might be the surprise of the NFL. But the Chargers now, that's basically a pick 'em, and I have the Chargers at home versus Indy, and Indy's got to come across the country. I love that game. I like the Chargers -1.5. Last, I was surprised at this spread. Cowboys +2.5 at home versus Washington. The Cowboys have been better. Dak Prescott's been really good. He's been my fantasy quarterback. Trust me, he's been pretty good. Washington just lost the other day on a late Jaden Daniels couldn't hand off the ball fumble. I'm taking the Cowboys +2.5.
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah. So to recap, I'm taking the Eagles -1.5 in Minnesota, the Jets +1.5 at home versus Carolina, Miami +3 in Cleveland, the Chargers -1.5 at home versus Indy, and the Cowboys at home in Big D +2.5 versus the Washington Commanders.
The only one I would kind of disagree with you on, I think the Colts are crushing it right now. I don't think the Chargers are going to.
We will see. And Allie, the Scattaboo signing is feeding families. At the top. I would agree with that. Where did he come from? Scattaboo.
Brian, you remember what school he came from? Arizona. I don't know. It's yellow and red. Yellow. No.
Now, Ed Maturko is commenting about the Jets. Now, he's saying the Jets just have bad puck luck, trying to combine everything. Arizona State. Thank you. That's where he came from. Thank you, Coffee.
So, they lost by 2 points to the Steelers. Winnable game.
Right.
You lost to the Bills, so a real loss.
Mm-hmm.
You lost by 2 points to the Buccaneers.
Yep.
You lost to the Dolphins.
Yep. You lost to the Dolphins.
And you lost to the Cowboys.
You could be 3-3.
And you should have beat the Broncos.
So that's 3 losses.
3-3.
Even if you're not 3-3, you shouldn't have lost those 3 games. You could have easily won.
Yeah.
As Ed Maturko, and if anyone knows, it's Ed because he's a Jets season ticket holder. Jets have bad puck luck.
Puck luck.
He's absolutely right.
But it's a shame that in the NFL you have bad puck luck for a couple of weeks. That's like, that's
right. It'll kill you. But we're going to tie it all together. But if you have bad puck luck in hockey for 2 or 3 home games, it's an 82-game season.
In the first 2 weeks, which is great. Get it over with now.
Not 18. I'm going to say it. Let's say you had a bad time in Canada for 2 games, right? I would say then Monday night would be very important. But I'm not putting like bullseyes or targets on games in October. So
I might have to go to Monday too.
Are you going?
I
wasn't. So again, I wasn't planning on going, and I'm not definitively going. But I've gone twice in 3 days. Like it's a lot for me. I mean, I like going, but it's also like I have other stuff I got to do. I have businesses I got to run, and I have kids. One kid with a broken leg at the moment. I wasn't planning on going Monday, but I'm now leaning towards going.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
like it. Yeah.
But Ali will be there. We know that. She said yes.
Nice. So the one thing that we didn't touch base on our picks here is the other local game,
which is
Giants Broncos, which I think is a huge game.
Giants are getting 7. What do you like?
They're getting 7.5 on over here, but Giants, dude.
I would too. I was not impressed with Denver in
Yeah, they
London
almost lost
versus
to
the
the
Jets.
Jets.
Yeah, and that's a lot. It's not that's a lot of points, but it's a full touchdown. I would take the Giants if I was picking that game in the 5, which I'm not. But we do pick the local games regardless. I would take them plus.
They have a good pass rush, so we just be mindful of that. But Jackson's been skedaddling all over the field.
And Scabadoo or whatever his name is. Skibadoo.
Scabadoo.
Scabadoo.
Yeah.
At B-Rock, now, speaking of hockey, our producer B-Rock, who's in the corner, is a Devils fan. And we welcome him with open arms every week. We go back, we go at each other. I asked him if he was going tomorrow night because the Devils have their home opener. The Devils haven't even played a home game. So all you people that are going nuts about the Rangers not scoring at home, there's teams that haven't even played at home yet, so relax. But I said to B-Rock, are you going to the home opener? B-Rock, what do you say you go to, like 1 or 2 games a year?
Probably go to like
5 games here. Okay, so B-Rock, and B-Rock doesn't have a ticket plan. He buys kind of when he needs it, as needed, a la carte on StubHub or whatever. I asked him before, I said, what is the market price for the Devils home opener tomorrow? And he said it was only $40. Amazing the difference in the demand versus the Ranger home opener. You should be going, B-Rock. And B-Rock is going to get these pulled pork nachos, or what was it, the garlic knot helmet that they have at the Prudential Center? Yeah. B-Rock's gonna do it. And Ed Maturko is saying the Devils go horn works. Thanks for letting us know, Ed. But actually, you don't know that because they haven't played a home game yet. That is it for us. Again, up in Toronto tomorrow, Montreal on Saturday, and home on Monday night versus Minnesota. We thank the Bamboozle Project, as always, for their sponsorship. www.thebamboozleproject.com. MYPB promo code saves you 20% off everything.
Free money.
It's not like we just save you on the Win for Sam shirts that you guys all love. And as Ali's saying, maybe an MYPB NY Ranger Girl meetup is what the team needs to score. If I'm there, Ali, Monday night, we will definitely meet up at some point. And actually, I would be sitting near you on Monday night because I know where you sit. My seats Monday night would be near you, so we could make that happen. We thank DraftKings as well. And again, it's early in the season. Relax. It's almost comical, as Mika said after the game. Like, it's you laugh or cry. Like, it's kind of funny, but it's not funny because you're a Ranger fan. And anyone who's saying, like Alvin, that the shirt that I wear to the game is cursed, can we stop that? I don't know where you guys got that in the
same shirt
chat.
every time.
I wear my Win It for Sam shirt. I just have been. I can switch to a jersey. If I think, let me say this in closing. If I think that any article of clothing, because I'm the most unfashionable moron in the world, right?
Yeah.
I wear like nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I thought that something I was wearing was cursing my hockey team, I would never wear it again. But I'm pretty sure that's not just.
Well,
that's not the problem.
I've been to 2 Giant home games. I wore my same jersey twice. Now I have to wear that jersey every time.
There you go. Thank you for listening. We will talk to you next week.